Hey folks, it is a Weekend Therapist, and I'm back with another video. In light of a lot of the news that I am seeing regarding the event in Minneapolis where Renee Good lost her life, there are a lot of news stories that are using a term that you may be familiar with, and that term is PTSD, or post traumatic stress disorder. Now, I want to caution you a little bit about using this term because it is a very serious diagnosis and it has very specific criteria in order to be diagnosed with it. The very first thing is time. The symptoms related to PTSD last a month or longer, and typically without treatment can last a lifetime. So let's get into the definition. So, starting with trauma, trauma is an event that elicits an extreme emotional response. Now, a traumatic stressor, as indicated by the DSM, is a direct threat to the individual's life, uh, either the serious like injury, could be sexual violence to the individual or to someone that they are close to, such as a family member that they witnessed. And as a result, then you have a whole host of negative symptoms that occur, many of which you may have probably heard in social media. But one is intrusive thoughts, intrusive memories, recurrent flashbacks that occur relating to the traumatic experience. So you relive the moment over and over again. And you may seek to avoid scenarios that recall or are even familiar with that experience. So, a person with PTSD is not necessarily jumping back into environments that would elicit the same types of response because they're trying to avoid it. And if they are in those situations, you may find that they respond with aggressiveness, with anger, with hypervigilance sometimes. And there's just mood uh, instability overall. Now, that doesn't mean that someone with PTSD will experience that or exhibit these features all the time. Again, these it can happen depending on what is occurring in the environment at that time. But one thing I do want to assure you is that because the criteria exists, doesn't mean that everyone that experiences trauma develops PTSD. There are resiliency scales, there are post traumatic growth scales. There are all kinds of things that occur that one doesn't necessarily devolve into having PTSD. And with that, take care of yourselves. Peace.